Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today in this video, we are going to discuss a System Verilog array concept. So here we are going to cover first theory and then we will see some practical application of our array. We will implement some piece of code to get like how our array will work. Okay. So without wasting our time, let's start this video. So this is my basic introduction. My name is Kittu Patel, and if you have any query, so you can contact me on this number and you can also send me a mail on this mail ID. Okay. So let's start our array concept. So see, what is the problem? Like if we are not using an array, so what's problem arise? So suppose see, if you have a score of 50 student, so in traditional way, if you want to hold or store the score of 50 student, so you need 50 variable to store that score. Okay, so suppose in A you are storing some score 25, in B you are storing some score 28 and something like that. So you have to go up to 50. So basically it will make your code more tedious to write. Okay, so it will make your code more tedious. It will become hard for you to manage or make changes in them. So suppose see, what if we are adding some entry? So you can have to add extra variable and it will might become a huge amount of data for you to manage, and it will also make your code so messy and hard to understand. So for that all reason we are introducing array. So array just do your simple task. So array just reduce this all the messy thing here. So suppose here if you want to store the score of 50 student, so you just have to declare array and your array will be declared something like this, where you have same data type and you are storing the score of each member. Okay, so you have created one memory which is of same data type, or you are storing some value inside the memory. So this is something like that. So here your each compartment can hold a piece of data and make sure that your all piece of data should have the same data type. And what is the benefit of this? So see, it will make your code more neat and tidy. It is easy to access, because in previous one it will become hard to access all these things, and it will also give you a powerful operation where you can perform actions on many items with a simple loops. Okay. Now there are two types of array. One was packed array and the another one was unpacked array. Now let's see the packed array. So see, if your packed array is nothing but it's like a single continuous block of bit. What I mean to say, suppose you have one block and this is some, you are storing some bit inside this block. Okay. So this is something like packed array. So here this memory allocation is indicating a packed array kind of structure. So here your old data is tightly packed together bit by bit. So here you can see that your old data is tightly packed bit by bit, and you have to take care of this. Like here the size is declared before the array name. So suppose you have to declare your packed array. So you have to declare it something like this. So you can say you have bit and you are declaring some size 3 down 0, and let's say array name you are giving array. Okay, so here you have declared your size before the array name. Okay, so keep this in mind. And the another point you have to take care about that your array, or you can say that your packed array are able to hold only single bit of data type. Okay, so single bit of data type, what I mean? So see, there are many single bit of data type which we have learned in our data types video. One was bit, logic, range, wire. So these all are the single bit data type. So your packed array are allowed for these data types only. You are not allowed to use int and real. So these all data types are not allowed in packed array. So keep this in mind. While writing the packed array, you have to use only single bit of data type. Okay. Now let's see the unpacked array. So before that, so let's see the how to write the packed array and how memory has been formed. So suppose see, you have written some multi-dimensional packed array. Okay, so you have written something like this: bit 3 down 0, 7 down 0, and you have written its name like array. Okay, so how your memory has been formed? So see, first of all, here first is 4 bit. So you can consider one block of 4 bit. Okay, so we have considered one block which is separated by 4 blocks internally, and then again here we have 8 bit. So your each block consists of 8 bits. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and similar thing goes with this. Okay, so you can declare your memory location something like this in packed array. Now let's learn the unpacked array. So see, your unpacked array is nothing but it's like a collection of separate individual items. So in our packed array structure, we have seen that we have compiled or grouped our bit by bit location. Okay, but here we have some separated memory location, or you can say your each memory or your each item is separated. Okay, now here each item exists on its own, so here not a grouping kind of thing was there. So what is the key feature? So your data type. So here you can use any of the data type like bytes, integer, even your custom data structure. So you can use any of the data type. Or whereas in packed array, you are allowed to use only single bit of data type. And see, the example of unpacked array are like you can see in fixed array, dynamic array, associative array, queue array. All these are a part of unpacked array only. Okay, so suppose you have given an unpacked array, so keep this in mind. In the size of an array, or you can say the dimension of unpacked array are written after the array name. So something like this. So see, here you have written some data type, and then you have written the array name, and then you have declared your dimension of an array. So keep this in mind, like your dimension of an array in unpacked array is declared after the array name, whereas in packed array, your dimension is declared before the array name. Okay, I hope it is fine up to you. Okay, now let's see the memory structure of unpacked array. So suppose you have created a dimension of 10. Okay, so it will something look like this. So it will start from a of 0 and goes up to a of 9. Okay, so here you can see we have different memory allocation, or you can see different memory has been created. Okay, so this is something in you can see in unpacked array. Now let's see its application, like all this array, fixed size array, dynamic array, queue array, and all that. Okay, now let's start with the fixed size array. So see, here you are initializing your size, or here you are deciding your size before the simulation start, or you can say that at compile time. Okay, so here you have to decide your size at compile time. So suppose you have declared one int score 10. So that means you have to store a 10 scores. Okay, so here your array are able to hold 10 integer scores. Okay, so this is the fixed array. So we will also see its code, so it will become more clear to you. But first of all, learn the theory and then we will implement through code. Okay, now the another one is dynamic array. So see, dynamic array is nothing but a super flexible unpacked array. Here you can able to change your size, or you can say here you can able to change your dimension during your simulation time or at runtime. So it generally memory allocated only when you need it. Okay, so during the program execution, so see, it will basically allocate your memory like during the program execution. So this will basically save your memory if you don't need a huge array. So it is perfect for the situation where you don't know the exact number of time beforehand, or you can say at the compile time. Now let's see the queue array. So queue array is nothing but a FIFO kind of thing where you are storing something and you are popping something from it. So it is something like that. So here you have to like a line of people or to do a list. So you have to add some item to an one end and remove some item from the other. So the key features of a queue array are it is always simple and straight list, and the size is here is variable, and it is easy to manage, and it is perfect for a FIFO like buffers. Okay, so keep this in mind. Here many methods are there which make your queue more interesting and more usable. So we will also see how it is make your code more reusable. Now the last one was associative array. So see, suppose you have a memory something like this. Suppose, or you can say suppose you have 512 block of memory and you want to directly write it in 255. So your associative array provide this royalty to access any of the memory location in between. Whereas in dynamic array or queue array, you are not allowed to access the in between memory, or you can say that your sparse memory. Okay, so here your sparse memory, or you can say that ideal for cases when you only have a few pieces of data across over a large possible range. Okay, spread over a large possible range, so you can able to access it. Here no initial memory has been created, so doesn't have to take care about your memory until you actually store something in it. Okay, Now let's see the code implementation, then it will be more clear to us like how your actual code will be formed, and we will also see some method which will useful for you. Okay, so here I have written some method, but we will see first in our EDA playground, then we will discuss on this method. Okay, now let's start this in EDA. So now let's try to cover all this theoretical point which we have discussed. So first of all, let's start with the fixed size array. Okay, fixed size array. So now let's write their module name, module TB and end module. Okay, we have written the module TB and end module. Now let's declare one array of size 5. Okay, so we have declared one array of size 5. Now let's take an initial begin block. Now let's assign value to each memory location. So first of all, at a of 0 we are assigning 23, at a of 1 we are assigning 78, at array of 0 we are assigning 23, array of 1 we are assigning 78, array of 2 we are assigning something to assign 89, at array of 3 we are assigning 90, and at array of 4 we are assigning 56. Okay, so we have assigned our element to each array index. Okay, now let's first of all print this array. So to print the entire array, you can use %p access modifier. So it will basically print your entire array in decimal format. So we are printing our entire array. Okay, so now let's run the code. So here you can able to see the entire array. Okay, now at first location, or you can say at 0th index we have 23, at first index we have 78, at second index we have 89. Now how can we find the size of an array? So see, in dynamic array, Q array and associative array like a size method was supported, but here in fixed size array your size method is not supported. So to get the size of an array, you can use the dollar size system task. Okay, so dollar display. Now to get the size of an array, you are using %0d and dollar size of array. So it will basically return your size of an array. Now let's run this code. So here you can see like our size of an array is 5, which you are getting. Now let's see some method which was supported in fixed size array. Now what if we have to perform the addition of all these? So you can directly use the sum method here to perform the addition of your entire array elements. Okay, now let's copy this code and paste it over here. Now directly we are using sum method. So array.sum. So by using array.sum method, you can allow to add your all array elements. Okay, so here you can see our result of addition of all array element. We are getting 336, which was the required one. Okay, now let's do the product. So we are allowed to do product also. Like if we in product you will get the result like all your array elements should be multiplied, and then you will get the final result. So by using array.product you can get the product of all the array element. So we are doing the product. I don't know the exact answer, but yeah, you will get some product answer. So here you can see here the product of all this element. Here it is the answer of it. Okay, so this is the answer of product of all the array element. Now let's do some more practice on array method. So the another method is mean. So if you want to access the minimum value of element, like here the minimum number of any array element is 23. So if we want to access that only, so we can allow to access by using mean keyword. Okay, or mean method you can say. So by using mean method, we can accessing the minimum element. Okay, so here see the minimum array element is 23. Okay, because it's an 23 is the minimum one. So we are getting the minimum. Now let's find the maximum one. So to find the maximum, we have to use keyword max. Okay, you can say you can use method max to get the maximum value in your from your entire array. Now here you can clearly able to see you are getting 90, which was an maximum value in your entire array. So this is how you can use various method to make your task or more easy, you can say. Okay, so these are the some method. Now so these are the some method which you can use in fixed size array. Okay, now let's write a code for dynamic array. So we have declared one module and end module. Okay, so we have declared one module and then end module. Now, so see, if you want to declare a dynamic array, so you have to keep this bracket empty. Now you have to declare its size by using new keyword. So in initial begin end, if you want to declare its size, so you can do it something like this: array equal to new. Let's say the size of our array is 5. So we have declared our array size something like this. Now let's give it some value. Array is equal to, let's say we are assigning some value 23, 45, 65, 78 and 94. Okay, so we have assigned some value. Now to get this value, you have to use simply $display %0p to print the entire array. And now let's write the array name. Okay, array. Now let's print the value. Okay, now here you can see the all the array elements 23, 45, 65, 78 and 94. Now let's use some method. So to determine the size of an array, you can use the size method. Okay, so to get the size of an array, you can use directly size method. So $display, let's say array dot size. So to get the size, you can use size method. Now display the size. So see here the size of your array is 5 only. Now let's explore some another method. So see, if you want to delete the entire array, so you can use the delete method. So you can use the delete method. So something like this. So you are using array dot delete. So by using this, you can delete the entire entry of the array. Okay, or you can say the entire elements of an array is being deleted. Now let's see the size again. Now our expected size now should be 0 because we have deleted the entire array elements. Now let's see. So see here we are getting 0. So this was not supported in fixed size array, but yeah, it will allow in dynamic array. So you can say that all the array elements which was there in fixed size array is the applicable to dynamic array. You can use sum method, product method, minimum, maximum. All these methods are available in dynamic array also. But along with that, you can able to use delete your entire array elements, and also you can get to know about the size of an array by using size method. Okay, so this is all the dynamic method. Okay, so this is all the dynamic array. You can able to write your dynamic array, or you can able to assign memory to your dynamic array by using new keyword. Now let's see the another array which is q array. So let's declare one module, module tb and module. So see, in Q array, we are not initializing, or you can say declaring some memory. Rather than we are passing or sending some data by using push or front, push or pop. Okay, so we are passing some data using push, and we are fetching some data using pop. Now suppose you have considered int array. Now here you have to use dollar to represent that your type of your array is Q array. Okay, so this will representing you are using Q array. Now let's take initial begin block, initial begin end. Now suppose you have to give pass some value, so you have to use array dot push. Okay, now you have to push either in two way, array dot push back or push front. So this is the method available with the queue. So we are using push back. Okay, so we are passing 45, and then let's pass some value again. So array dot push back. So we are passing here 35. Okay, so we have passed the two value. Now let's display our array. So currently our array is of size 2. So let's see our array. Okay, so here you can see 45 and 35. Now if we want to pop some array elements, so you can able to pop also. So that means you are deleting accessing that element, and after the access of your element, the array element will get deleted automatically. Okay, so let's see this. So here we have used %0d and array dot pop front we are doing. So pop front, we are accessing from front. Now let's run this code. So the expected output should be 45 because we are accessing from the front. So here you can see we are we have access from the front. Now let's again see the array elements. Now 45 will get erased. Now you have left with only 35 after this. Okay, because you have popped one array element, so your 45 will get erased, or you can say popped. So see here you have left with 35 only. This is some array method which was there in QArray. Now you can also able to insert some array element in between the position by using insert keyword. So this is all the method which was available in QArray. Okay, now let's see the associative array. We will still discuss the whole method. Here I am giving just the introduction of the method, like how can be used. So we are going to see all this method in detail also, but here I am giving just introduction that how to use the array method. Now let's see the associative array. So see, in associative array, you are accessing something by using their type ID, or you can say string ID or ID, name ID. So let's declare one module, tb end module. Now suppose you are declaring int array, and here you are keeping its ID as a string, or you can say you are keeping its ID as an int only. Now let's consider one initial begin block, initial begin end. Okay, now let's pass some value. So you are sending some value at some memory, random memory location. So int of 98 is equal to 34, and int of 45 is equal to, let's say, 20. So here at different memory location or at random sparse memory location, you are assigning some elements. Now let's see the size of an array. So here the size of an array will remain as 2, because see here you are allowed to access the sparse memory location. So that's why here the expected size of array should be 2. Now let's see whether it will meet our expectation or not. So see here your size of an array is 2. So that means the memory location should be sparse, that like we have accessed only 2 memory location. So that's why our size is 2. Now there are different method which was available in associative array also, like the method above you have used, that all method are available, and along with that you can also find like exist method was also available. So suppose I am writing something like this, so you can check it like this: if array dot exist of 98, let's say 56, our index is 56. So if it is exist, so it will return something 1. Okay, so $display, let's say we are printing something like a 98 index exist, or you can say 56 index exist. Okay, otherwise else $display not exist, not exist. Okay, let's mark here apostrophe. Okay, now let's run this code. So see here, since our 56 index has been exist, so it is showing that 56 index exists. So you can use your array method this way also in associative array. Now let's see some method which was there in all this array. Okay, so you have to note down this all the method because it is very useful. So see, these are some common method which was there in dynamic, associative and Q array. So we have seen the size, like size method was there in Q, dynamic and associative array. Delete method was also there, which will delete your entire elements. Okay, all elements. Now exists method was there to check the given index exist or not, or it will all applicable only for the associative array, which we have recently seen. Okay, so see here first method is used to get the first index, whereas your last method to get the last index. Now next method was there to get the next index, and previous method was there to get the previous index, and this is all applicable for the associative array only. Okay, so this all like first, last, next. So you can also make and practice to see the you are getting the expected result or not. Now some sorting and comparison method was also there, which we have seen, like minimum method was there to get the minimum value from the entire array, and the maximum method you can use when you want the maximum value from an entire array, and unique method was there to get the unique elements from an array. Okay, so these three methods are applicable for all these three: dynamic, associative, and queue. And you can also use this in fixed size array, so keep this in mind. Now some sorting comparison, so this is very useful. So if you want to sort your array in ascending or descending order, so you can do this. So shuffle method was also there to shuffle your array elements. Okay, so this is also useful in dynamic, associative, and queue array. So these are the some method which was available in queue. So push front we have seen, like push front, push back, pop front, and pop back. So push front and push back is used to push some elements inside the array, whereas in pop front or pop back is used to get some element from the array. Okay, now insert method was there, so you have to write some index at which index you want to insert the value. So you can also use the insert method in associative and queue array. Now delete method was also there, and you have to and if you want to delete some specific index, so you are allowed to do that. Okay, so this is all our final conclusion. See, you have to practice more in this concept, and still if you have any doubt, then you can ping me out at anywhere. I have given social media link in the description, so you can go there and reach out to me. Okay, so thank you.